Hello and welcome to the weekend edition. I'm Dr. Kingori. We have yet another classic show lined up for you. Hii wiki kwanza imekuwa na moto mingi sana. One of the highlights for me is this video of former sports CS Rashid Echesa allegedly slapping an IBC official. Hakuna madharau kubwa kwa hiyo video kama vile Rashid Echesa ametoa huyo jamaa mask kwa uso ndio ampige kofi. This is the literal definition of peeling back the mask. On the flip side though, this goes a long way to change the opinion of anyone who may have doubted that these masks can protect from COVID. Anyway, our interest in the guests that we bring you on this episode started with a conversation on medical cover for a fifth child onwards and the conversation on polygamy. The MP for Budalangi was in hot soup 3 years ago after he made the following remarks on TV.
They have not made any law that restricts the members of parliament to have only 4 children. When you come here, you have 5, 6, 7 children, you are being told that, you know, we only cover 4. Which one will you put there? Even if you are a monogamous, you may still have even 10 children and you are a monogamous from one wife. How do I choose this child may be sick and this one will not be sick? So that I choose who to give the card.
Honorable Wanjala is in the house. I know people have different reactions on what his stand on polygamy is, but personally, I believe the conversation on beneficiaries on medical covers is a matter of national interest. This is going to be a fun conversation. Mheshimiwa will be joining us in a bit, and I also hope that he will share with us a secret or two on how to make more than one woman happy legally. I also love it when we start the show with good news, like this week. The first batch of the long-awaited COVID-19 vaccines arrived in the country. And here's an overview of how soon you will get vaccinated.
In phase 1, there are 1.25 million doses set for distribution. And this is the current phase that is kicking off this month, March 2021. The targeted recipients here are healthcare workers, police officers, military officers, and teaching staff. By 2023, the government is projecting that 3 out of 10 Kenyans will have been vaccinated, and this accounts for 15 million Kenyans.
Yes, this is progress. However slow, it's progress. A few things I'd love to say about the criteria. The military being given priority in the vaccination exercise, that's understandable. COVID-19, as we all know, is a disease that attacks the human defense system. As for the other careers, my question is, will it be only the individual who's been employed in the career being vaccinated, as in kama ni polisi peke yake ama yeye na familia yake, or the individual and his whole family? If it's only the individual, then one might be tempted to understand nepotism or the concept of a whole family choosing the same career line. Unajua hii familia yetu, kila mtu ni mwalimu. Sasa ona, tuko na kipaumbele kwa hii mambo ya dawa ya COVID. Ule aliharibu bet ni my last born. Aende apewe dawa na mwenye alimwambia kuwe DJ. Unajua hata hii wakati wa corona, sisi walimu tumekuwa tunalipwa na hatuendi kazi. Hebu muulize kama DJ aliona pesa mwisho lini. Now for the police, I'm sure once they get vaccinated, people will get the proper feel of being arrested for not wearing a mask by someone without a mask. I'd love to know more details about the criteria used for the career vaccination idea, because if it was about vulnerability, musicians will be top on that list because they have been singing about breathing problems since time immemorial.
Tell me how I'm supposed to breathe with no air. You leave me breathless. Breathe without you. How can I breathe without you? How do I breathe?
Avuta pumzi, longo mbazo anafanya mambo. Avuta pumzi.
Honestly, I've never understood the obsession musicians have for respiration. Yani, I don't know, musicians have been singing about breathing problems. Baka juzi by them, utawezana song, there's a place Major talks about kitu anaweza fanyia mtu baka ashindwe kupumua. Anyway, according to the vaccine distribution timetable that has been given, the government targets are that by 2023, 3 out of 10 Kenyans will be vaccinated. Kwani hao watu wanafanya hesabu aje? Why are you putting people in groups of 10 knowing that you are going to vaccinate only 3? Why not put them in groups of 3 and vaccinate all of them? Or better yet, they should have conducted a public participation exercise to get the best distribution idea. The only problem with that is I know kuna mtu idea yake ya level playing ground ni ati vaccines zipelekwe Uhuru Park alafu Wakenya wang'ang'anie. It's also not surprising that some people have raised concerns that the vaccines may be looted. Now, this will be the greatest thing to ever happen in the fight against COVID-19, if you ask me, because everyone will be forced to follow safety protocols, because not wearing a mask or sanitizing can make you a suspect. In other news, President Uhuru Kenyatta has been elected to serve as the chairman of the East African Community for the next 2 years. He will be taking over from Rwanda's President Paul Kagame in a move that contradicts the stereotype that no sitting African president can give up a seat for another president. I like the way the narrative about Africa continues to change. Most of the things we have been accused of are now being witnessed in the first world countries. The US recently experienced post-election violence and a president refusing to give up the seat. And that's not all. Media personality Erika Simon recently posted this video of Americans queuing to fetch water. This video was taken in Houston, Texas, lakini mtu akikwambia hapa ni umoja, hauwezi kataa. Hiyo hata mnaweza bet. Now, this is not to mean that it's okay that we are equal because we have the same problems. This is just to point out that human beings are just human beings. Some things are human problems, not African problems. Healthcare is a very critical element of human existence, and it is a subject we have covered on this show several times before with different angles. 3 years ago, there were mixed reactions when Honorable Raphael Wanjala, the MP for Budalangi, talked about medical cover for large families on TV.
The state shall not discriminate directly or indirectly against any person on any ground, including race, sex, pregnancy, marital status. So when you are telling my wife that she's a second wife, a third wife, you don't want to cover, and you are the state, then you are discriminating against that woman because of her marital status.
I have looked at this from a different perspective, and I believe so did many of you. We have brought him on the show mainly for that, and he joins us on the other end of this short commercial break. So see you guys in a bit. Welcome back to the Wicked Edition. I'm Dr. Kingori Show Zito tena kama kawaida. Our guest wa this episode pia ni zile tumeplan for a long time. Alafu it's because the first time we planned this ilikuwa because he had said something that I found to be of interest to you. Ilikuwa about medical cover. It was for MPs, and for me niliona opportunity hapo for Kenyans. Na alikuwa meisema because ilikuwa mambo in the interest ya the other families. If you have more than 4 children, more than 3 children. If you have more than children, the 4th child hayuko covered na insurance cover. And it was a very interesting topic for me. We managed to get the Budalangi MP, Honorable Raphael Wanjala, in the house. Karibu sana mheshimiwa.
Asante.
Manzi. Hii ni episode tunaitanga kama hizi the episodes of patience. And I was very interested in this because vile medical cover inakaa. Ukiwa na watoto more than 4 years, ndio? So the 5th one hawalipi hawakava kabisa.
They don't.
How ulifika number 5 ndio ukagundua ama ulikuwa unajua hiyo ndio system?
Si wakati walituambia ndio tukaanza hii argument.
Aha.
Yes.
Yes.
So ndio tukaanza hii argument. Why? Hapa Kenya hakuna sheria inasema unazaa watoto wawili, watatu, wanne. Yes. Na hata ukienda kotini,
Yes.
na isemekane ulizalisha msichana amekupeleka kotini,
Yes.
so huyo mtoto anakuanga wako.
Yes.
Na unaambiwa kata.
Yes.
For that child.
You have to.
Yes. Kwa sababu ni wako. So akiwa wako si lazima pia alipiwe.
I loved that. I loved that
And
very
you
much.
See, kuna wale wako na watoto wale wamezaliwa sio na huyo mama.
Chini ya maji.
Yes, and they are covered.
Yes.
Alafu na huyo mama is covered. And then you don't want to cover mama ya ule mwingine, ya huyo mtoto. And ni nini utakuwa unafanya?
And that was like 3 years ago. Has there been any progress as far as ku include huo mtoto mwingine kwa cover?
Yeah, what they did,
Yes.
Walienda wakaongea na watu wa insurance, wakasema sasa wale watu wako na more than one wife wenyewe waende walipe.
Yes.
With their agreement ile walifanya hapo na rates
Insurance. Yes.
za insurance. But we are telling them, the law is very clear. Don't, in our 2010 constitution, there are rights
Yes.
enshrined in that constitution. And there are rights that you can't vary.
Yes.
And one of the rights that you can't vary is that you don't discriminate somebody against his or her marital status.
Okay.
Because polygamy is allowed in Kenya. So you don't discriminate that lady because
Yes.
she's a second wife, a third wife, a fourth wife, or so on.
Yes.
We even have our Muslim brothers. It's
Yes.
allowed even in the Quran.
Constitution and the Quran. Yes.
But even us as Christians in the Bible, it is allowed. Polygamy is allowed, yeah.
Hii mambo ya one wife tunajiekelea.
If these are businessmen, these people are businessmen, ni kujiwekelea. They
It
are
could
not
be a sin
serious.
to have one wife.
No, it's not a sin.
Oh, but we have the freedom.
We have the freedom. And that is why God never had a friend who was monogamous. All God's friends were polygamous. Yeah, you read the Bible. Moses, who ever saw God,
Yes.
Moses was a polygamous. He married 2 sisters. One was
Yes.
from outside.
Yes.
And then when you look at Abraham married 3. And then David, don't know how many he had.
Yes.
Saul, I don't know how many he had, and so on and so on. The list is endless.
I like your view
Yes.
on polygamy.
And in the same Bible, it's very clear.
Yes.
It says, when you die,
Yes.
when you still have that young family and you die, your brother who is younger to you
Yes.
is supposed to inherit the woman you have left.
The Bible says
The
that.
Bible says. And when they give birth, that first child given birth after your death is supposed to be called your name, you who died. And then Jesus was asked, now, okay, after that, uendeleshe familia ya ndugu yako.
Yes.
You
Yes.
bring it up.
Yes. Yes.
But he was asked, if this lady dies, aende kwa Mungu, atasema bwana yake alikuwa nani? Who was the husband? But they were answered that huko kwa Mungu hakuna marriages. Marriage is
iko
hapa
hapa.
duniani. That these people will not read you those verses. And it's very clear in the Bible.
So it's not in my Bible, ati Bible.
No, it is there.
Ati
Even-
God's friends
Yeah.
were.
It is there. You mean you don't know that Moses was a friend of God?
I know, but I
That
think I
even
read the wrong
Samuel to
pages.
become what he became, it was God anointing him.
Yes.
Daud the same, a small boy,
Okay.
went and killed a Goliath. Was not God's power? Yeah, and many. And even in the Bible, it's very clear. It only says, for you, if you want to be, a leader of a church,
Yes.
an elder, a priest, a father,
Yes.
a bishop, you should only have one wife.
Yes.
And not
To
only
be a
have,
leader of the church.
Yes. And you should only, that's why it says you should only have one wife.
Yes.
And that wife should give birth to children. And those children must be respectful.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is in the Bible. So hii mambo ingine haisaidii.
They have to be acknowledged and recognized as part of the family.
Yes, yeah.
So
And you will see SEK, bishops, they are reverend and whatever, they marry.
okay.
Yeah.
So-
And you know people are just flouting the Bible. Where did you see a woman in the Bible preaching? These days they are calling themselves bishops. I can't go to a church where a woman is a preacher.
Why?
I can't. It's not allowed even in the Bible. Which
you follow,
Bible do
you
they
follow
read?
the Bible to
I
the
follow
letter.
the Bible. I follow the Bible. Let them come and tell us which woman was a reverend, a pastor, a bishop.
At times changing.
They were even told how to sit in the church. They should be quiet. And
But who will
they
lead
must
praise and
wrap their
worship?
heads.
Praise and worship.
Huh?
How will they be quiet? Praise and worship on silent mode.
Who says that? No. They are seated there.
When someone listens to you, they would marry a second wife immediately. And I'm looking at it from maybe, say for example, you are in a polygamous marriage. How do you separate that from cheating? Because if your wife caught you cheating and you have more than one wife, it's very easy to pass that as recruitment.
What? I
Say
don't
you
get
have, for example, you have 3 wives. If you are caught cheating, who among these is supposed to get mad? And if they got mad,
So you will be cheating with who? Second wife, third wife?
an extra person. So if you add another person who's not among the 3, is that cheating or you are recruiting the 4th one?
You are recruiting the fourth one.
So that's the
And,
beauty
and
of-
cheating is cheating. It doesn't matter whether you have more than one or whether you have one. You will just have cheated.
And you said one thing, one of the interviews I saw, ulisema you don't know any politician who is monogamous.
Yes, I don't know.
What?
What? Those ones who are monogamous are cheaters.
They are undercover polygamous,
Yes.
not cheaters. Cheaters is a strong word.
Okay.
They are
Undercover.
undercover. They are undercover polygamous.
Give them a soft land.
Yes. People were mad. Some people who were mad at you were mad because you were talking from an MP's perspective, which now I, as a Kenyan, will ask, what do you guys have as far as now healthcare nationally is concerned? You raised a valid concern, and I'm thinking for the Kenyan mwenye ana need medical cover like the MPs, right? How do we get that? Is it possible?
That is why there is NHIF.
Which
For
does
other
not work
Kenyans.
in most cases.
It does. Like I'm in the village, it is working. It's only that not many people do
Know
pay.
about it.
Yeah. They know about it, but they don't pay because of financial constraints. Yeah, because of the economic hardships. But they know it.
As leaders, and for this I'm not speaking about you in person, I'm speaking as the leadership as a unit, right? We've had cases where leaders have been criticized for going to seek medical health care out of the country. In fact, people are celebrating when the COVID-19 pandemic hit that, at least lockdown will keep us all here, we'll die together if need be, right? Do you ever have kama conversations among leaders? Niaje, we need to improve on this for wananchi so that you would actually be comfortable attending a public hospital.
You know me and even my governor, we don't talk because of those issues. I've been an agitator for hospital medical services to go back to national government.
Yes.
And we have been very categorical in BBI that medical services have collapsed. With county government have failed. So we needed the medical services to go back to the national government.
Yes.
And indeed, it was captured in BBI, the first BBI.
Yes.
Now, when the governors met the prime minister and the president, do you know they removed it and they took it back to county government?
Do you see as...
And I still feel that we needed health services to be taken back to national government. That is the mistake Kenyans did. You know, you don't try on your life. This is our lives. So for us to try on our lives, it doesn't make sense. We must get it right because we live because we have life. But if we carelessly take our life to be handled by governors,
yes,
then we have lost it as a country. That is why even the doctors are on strike today.
Okay.
Imagine doctors being managed by MCS. It's not easy, surely. You know, a doctor
Yes.
gets an A in school,
Yes.
and there are trained very few of them. Now, you want to send him to a village, and where you have sent him in a village, you have not provided him with the basic needs that he requires as a human being.
Yes.
No, doesn't make sense.
So, and you have 2 wives.
Mm.
Would you add another one?
Why not? I'm still living. Why not?
And do you have to consult the wives that are there before?
No,
Ama
you
it's a
only
surprise.
inform.
Like women love
No,
surprises.
you inform. You just inform.
That I'm bringing competition. Unaambia I'm bringing competition.
No, you just inform. It will depend which situation which you have. You inform. I have somebody. Maybe you have 2 children with her. Maybe you have 1 child.
Or you don't inform before, you inform after children. It's called
No.
point of no return.
You may still inform before that you have this intention. Because if you want to marry, you have reasons why you want to marry.
Yes.
Yeah, you have reasons. But you see that polygamy should not even disturb you. You know, even in the Bible,
Yes.
this wedding thing is not, it was not presided over
Yes.
by the priests or the bishops. Do you know Jesus attended wedding?
The Cana of Galilee.
Yes.
Yes.
Who was the priest? Who was the
Jesus
pastor?
came and caned people, so I don't think they
No,
had
no.
time.
Kenny was in the church.
Yes.
This was a wedding where he made wine for them, too much of it.
Yes.
They
yes.
drank it and left it.
Ah,
Fish.
Where?
Where the 5 fish
Oh,
were.
there was the
Yes.
wedding is where he turned water into wine.
Into
the
wine.
caning was
Yes.
the market.
No, it was not in the market. They turned the church into a market.
And I think I love the genius of looking at the Bible and justifying what other people would consider as sins. Like, as in...
Now you know, wedding is traditional. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yes, sir.
But it is the Pope of Catholic.
Yes.
You know, when Catholic came in Rome,
Yes.
they turned their doctrine
Yes.
into law and thought how to put it, how to include it in their preachings.
Yes.
But you can't read anywhere and find that there is a priest, a reverend, a bishop in the Bible who presided over a wedding.
Okay.
The weddings were done traditionally.
Okay.
That is why when the church brought in through the Pope the issue of wedding,
Yes.
then they confined you to one wife. But under traditional law, under tradition, you can marry many wives as you can. Even in our laws in
Yes.
Kenya,
Yes.
we have we have the Bible. Sorry, the Constitution allows 4, and the Quran allows 4 for the Muslims.
Yes, 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 sir.
And then for the traditional, you can marry as many as you can.
Okay.
And they will all be given marriage certificate at AG's chamber. And then when you marry in church,
Yes.
then you must remain with one. And if you try, even just to cohabit, even to be hard,
Yes.
then you go in for bigamy. And bigamy, there is no fine. You are imprisoned for 5 years. So you are not supposed to marry when you wedded in church. That is our law.
So you can only stop at cheating. As in, if you
If you cheat and you have one wife and she discovers and she proves that is bigamy.
You can be jailed for cheating.
5 years.
Tano tena.
Tano tena. I don't know, 5. You cohabit.
Now the rules of marriage seems to be what's running the Jubilee government. Mkijaribu ku
They are divorcing.
Manzi, asante sana, and I think my greatest take home, other than your explanation before we let you go, other than your explanation about my curious question about the medical cover has been, if you read the Bible properly, you can keep more than one woman.
Even in our constitution.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now,
And you know, polygamous family are always blessed in leadership because of that wisdom. To have more than one, you must have wisdom. Yes.
Like Solomon style.
Yes, like Solomon.
Thank you. Thank you for also informing the team that cheating could get you jailed for 5 years. So cheat safely. Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you.
Asante sana. That's it for the weekend edition. See you next week. My name is Dr. Kingori.